but we don't cover everything on there. When guys from the main roster go down there, and something to pay attention to. Like I've been watching recently because Dom and Rhea have been down there with the North American title, and I don't know if you watched the Great American Bash, but that was a really great match that Rhea Ripley won for Dominik, basically. But just in general terms, I want to ask you guys about this dynamic between Dom and Rhea and the fans. Vlad, do you have any comments about how Rhea is like loved and Dom is like completely hated?
Well, I love the dynamic. I mean, and I also love that they're everywhere. I don't have any issue with it. I think it's great. I mean, it seems to, right? I mean, didn't you say that because of their presence, that NXT actually got a huge ratings bump?
Like 150,000 maybe.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
That's significant. 150,000. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's true. That's a needle mover. A little bit of a needle mover.
I mean, considering I think they were always around like 550,000 or 600,000 maybe people watching, and then another 150. That's not bad. But anyways, I'm a big fan of Rhea. Obviously, she's an incredible talent. I mean, she is so good. It's not even funny. Her look, her work. I mean, it's just fantastic across the board. I have nothing but positive things to say about her, and I'm kind of happy that she's with Dominik, and kind of maybe Dominik is with around some good veteran people, some guys that could kind of teach him the ropes a bit, and he's learning to be a really, really good heel, and he's got the crazy heat going for him. They won't let him say a word. I kind of like the dynamic. I'm happy with it. And, I'm glad that they're kind of on every show because I kind of enjoy their segments.
All right. Robert, you got any thoughts about the dichotomy between the hate and the love from that they're getting?
First of all, I want to say Dominik Mysterio, man, he's such an inspiration. He's living proof that you could start off as an ex-con and still succeed in life.
Damn, that's true, man. Never thought about that.
Applause for Dominik.
And get a woman like Rhea.
Exactly. All right, so the dynamic between Dominik and Rhea, I think, is actually pretty fascinating, and it's funny because I guess Finn is the leader of Judgment Day, and what's the other guy's name again?
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest is the Money in the Bank winner, but they're like, I feel like they play a far less significant role as far as like as far as the fan interest in the Judgment Day. Like it's more Rhea and Dominik that people are interested in seeing like what happens next. With that group, right? They're the needle movers in that group, and Rhea, you could have, I guess you could say you could see that coming from like a long time ago. Dominik was a big surprise though. Yeah, I mean I love it, and I like that the fact that they're visiting like NXT and getting more eyeballs on that product.
Well, listen, Brian, before I go to you, I'll just mention, to me, I like it too, but there's one thing that bothers me that makes because we're smarks here, okay? There's one thing that makes the show kind of seem fake to me, is that Rhea is not getting any of the heat from Dominik. Like, shouldn't some of it be rubbing off onto her? Like, he's getting booed to hell, then she grabs the mic, and she's just beloved. Like, right? There's a little something off here about making the show kind of more believable to me. Is there anything there that you kind of thought too?
There's Jericho and Don Callis. Not to the same extent, but
well, yeah, I know, but my point is that it doesn't make sense that Rhea's not getting any of the heat that Dominik's getting. If the show is at all believed by the fans as being something that's supposedly supposed to be real, you're supposed to go along with the storyline, they're supposed to hate Rhea too. Like when she grabs the mic from Dominik, they're supposed to pour down on her. You're his friend. You're Dominik's friend. You're hanging out with him. We don't like this guy. But None of that comes across. None of it. So, do I have a point at all here, or am I just overthinking this?
I disagree with you. I think Vlad said it. Like, I think the dynamic between Rhea and Dom is fucking brilliant. And I think the fact that Dom is as hated as he is and Rhea is as over as she is as a heel is what makes those two together work. And I love where she has now become basically like his kind of siphon where she's like telling the crowd, all right, shut the fuck up, like let my man speak. And they're like, no, no. It's got this dynamic where it's engaged the crowd in a way that I think is fantastic. I know that Rhea is a heel, and she is a heel, but I like the fact that the bookers in WWE are not trying to overcorrect something that doesn't need overcorrecting. She's a heel. She cheats. She does her thing, but they're not. But they're also recognizing that yes, people love her because she's badass. She's dope, and fans want to root for Rhea, even against the baby faces. I kind of, in other circumstances, I would not think that this dynamic works, but it's working for her. And she's like the over heel in a heel group comprised of other heels that are not as over as her. In particular, Dom. And when it comes to Dom, I think him, joining forces with Judgment Day has been the absolute best for his career, as young as it is in WWE. And I would even go so far, and I'm so happy for him and how he's doing. I go so far as to say that Dom is the equivalent. Dom being in Judgment Day is the equivalent of Sami Zayn's involvement in the Bloodline, where he was that guy that turned that entire faction around. Like, I was always cold on the Judgment Day, especially when they first started with Edge. When they kicked Edge out and then Finn took over his role as the leader, I was still like, I don't know, this faction just seems like you're trying too hard to be cool, edgy baby faces. It's just not working with me. I give all the credit to the WWE creative, Triple H, they course corrected in a way that has been phenomenal. And I think Dom has been the linchpin that really set this faction. Like right now, I look at Judgment Day and like, not just me, I mean, we all like them now, but like they're moving numbers on NXT. Anytime that Judgment Day is involved in NXT, like I think Dom's match when he won the NXT North American title, that did better numbers than when Seth Rollins was down there competing against Braun Breaker. And a lot of it, I'm sure, had to say with the fact that, well, of course, Braun Breaker's not beating fucking Seth Rollins. I get that. But I think Dom, this dude is amazing. Judgment Day is amazing. This whole dynamic works. You've got Rhea, who's the women's, world champion. Damien's got the Money in the Bank. Dom's now the NXT North American champion. And I don't know if I'm, getting it too far ahead, but I think that Finn is going to beat Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. And this faction is just going to be up the wazoo with titles. Man. And you've got the dynamic of Finn being the champion, and they've already planted those seeds of the situation between him and Damien, where Damien's got the Money in the Bank, Finn wins the title from Seth, and you can, I mean, the storylines just write themselves as far as what you want to do with this whole faction. I am very bullish and high on Judgment Day, which I was not months ago, but they have killed it. Dom has killed it. I'm so happy for the kid. Being the son of a legend like Rey Mysterio could not have been easy. And I think this heel turn was something that is akin to when The Rock debuted. And he was that, they made him this white meat baby face. Nobody give a shit. They turned him heel, and he was off to the races. Not to say that, Dom is probably going to be in the realm of The Rock, but I'm just saying that there are certain times where you can turn someone heel, and it just galvanizes them as a character, as a performer. And I think, like you said, pairing them with these veterans, Rhea, Damien, Finn, And him working with them is only going to make him better in the long run. I love the Judgment Day. I love Dom. Give me more Dom. I want Dom on all the shows. Fuck it. Put Dom on AEW. Put him on Dynamite. Put him on Collision. Just give me all the Dom. Give me all the dirty Dom Mysterio. That's my.
You know that was not last week, but the week before that, Dominik Mysterio was the first WWE superstar to main event Raw, SmackDown, and NXT on the same week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Yep. Interesting point.
I didn't know about the SmackDown part. I didn't know about that.
Oh yeah, he showed
Yeah,
up on SmackDown.
Yeah, because I don't really watch SmackDown, so I didn't know about that.
Yeah, he wrestled Butch in an
Oh, okay.
impromptu match for the NXT North American title. Shawn Michaels.
Everyone wants that NXT North American title. Well, listen. So there's a lot of angles going on in the world of wrestling. Way too many for us to really be able to talk about all of them. We'll be here for hours. So I've come up with a little thingy here. Let me see if I can pull this up. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Don't pull out your thingy.
No, not a thingy like that.
Oh,
All right.
Whoa, look at that.
I got a wheel of angles. Wheel of wrestling angles.
Man.
Okay.
We could
Man,
spin.
K-On's gone all out for this episode.
Yeah, no, I'm impressed, brother. Damn, this is awesome.
We could spin this a couple times, maybe 2 or 3 times. If it lands on something really bad, just say, let's not talk about this. Because Alpha Academy and the Viking Raiders are on this wheel also. So
How long is it spinning?
well, I'm gonna spin it right now. You guys ready?
It's
Let's go.
not really spinning.
All right, let's go. All right.